Come out. Oh, man.
This winter's gonna do you in, isn't it?
No, it's working's what's doing me in. Been working today.
What you been doing?
I had that little cricket box I had to tear down and tear up. Took me about 2-3 hours to get it tore up.
What is it, a cricket box?
Yeah.
Oh, if you used to have live crickets in because you done so much fishing at one time?
Yeah, I used to buy crickets. I had a cricket box. I kept one big old box.
What do you feed crickets?
What?
What do you feed crickets?
Coffee grounds, anything. They eat anything.
I got you.
They eat each other.
Really?
Yeah, they're scavengers.
Scavengers?
Yeah,
Well, that's about what the people's turned out to be, hasn't it?
yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
They
What
just
have you been doing?
they just do it in a different form. You know what I'm saying? They're scavengers. They want something for nothing. They want to take what's already yours. They don't want to work for it. They don't want to earn it. They just want to steal it, take it. They're scavengers. We're living in a scavenger era right now.
Yeah,
They're just scavengers in a different way. And I guess if you go to places in South America and Africa, places like that, there's still cannibalism eating people.
I guess so.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Now I was gonna try to make it that shindig.
What shindig?
Up here in Paris, they're gonna have a shindig for that Kirk guy, that guy that got shot.
Yeah.
Some sort of a special memorial set up at 7 o'clock. I thought I'd stop in here and holler at you real quick.
Well, I didn't know they was having a shindig for him up here.
Yeah.
That's bad. He had to get killed. 22-year-old kid shoot him.
How many times has an active president went to a civilian funeral? I'd like to know that.
I don't know if one ever done it.
I don't either. Well, yes. Trump went to Billy Graham's funeral. He's a civilian.
Yeah. Well, of course.
During the time that he was president the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he coming to Paris to do?
No. I don't know. No, but Trump's supposed to be going to that Kirk guy's funeral.
Yeah, I know he is.
Or have they already had the funeral?
I don't know. That's bad. A 22-year-old kid took a gun and killed somebody.
How old was Kirk? He wasn't much older than that, was he? Wasn't he about 42, 45?
No. He was around 28, 30.
The guy that got killed?
Yeah.
I tell you what, we're turning into a heathenistic, barbarian country. And of course, they should have known that whenever they decided they was going to take the Bible out of schools and take the Pledge of Allegiance out of schools and no longer being able to discipline your kids. And if you even looked at them the wrong way, you had the truant officer down your neck. They should have known that this was what was going to happen whenever they done all this. But we sat idly by and we watched them do it, and now look what it's turned into. It's turned into nothing but a cesspool of scavengers.
Yeah.
And you know why that boy done that, don't you? It wasn't necessarily because he had any dislikes or likes about what that boy was talking about. You know why he done it, don't you? That's my dog.
Oh, I kept hearing a noise over here and I didn't know what that was.
I thought you'd come up here for peace and quiet.
Say,
You don't get a whole lot of peace and quiet up here no more, do you?
No.
With stuff like that driving up and down the roads. You gotta holler at one another just one another can hear to
Yeah.
talk over the sound.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually some deer's running across here about this time of day.
They're back over here in this corner over here. We done seen them.
You done seen them?
Yep. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, that was a bad deal, Nicholas. That was a bad deal.
Where was Nicholas buried at?
He was buried, just say,
Cremated?
huh?
Was he cremated?
No, we had open funeral.
Yeah, but whereabouts was it?
Millington.
Millington? He was buried in a cemetery in Millington.
Uh-huh.
Well, what about his wife?
Well, she's still living.
Yeah, I know. Well, and got one child.
One child,
Yeah.
one biological child. He raised 3 children by another wife.
Oh, he's been married twice then.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Well, where is home for the wife? Where's her home?
For right now, it's in Huntsville, Alabama.
I know. Is that regular where she's from? Is that part
No,
of
her where she's from is Ukraine.
it? Oh, Ukraine. Oh, okay.
She's a Ukrainian,
Okay.
but she's been stateside now for about 12, 13 years. The way I understand it, because she married somebody and had a child by him, and the daughter. First time I met her daughter, I think she's about 18, 19. I think she's in college.
Wow.
Yep. That was by her first wife. She married an army guy. And that's what brought her over here.
Okay.
Probably met over there.
Yeah.
But
How
that was
how
a
old was
bad
Nicholas?
deal, huh?
How old was Nicholas?
Same age as Jason, 46.
What is he? Well, Jason's he's 50 something now. He's been dead for 5 years, 10 years. Maybe 10 years.
I'm talking about whenever he died. He originally died.
He died. He'll be dead 10 years this coming October.
Okay. My son was born in 79 and your son was born in 89. Correct?
I guess.
You
That
had
don't
you
sound
had
good.
Jason. You had Jason, and I think Laurie was still in elementary school, wasn't she? Or high school. She was still in 11, and Reba had already done graduated.
No,
Huh?
I don't think so.
Well, Jason come along way back on the back end of Reba. I'm really surprised Betty May was even fertile enough to even have Jason. Because wasn't Betty May already almost in her 40s when she had Jason?
I guess so. Maybe. I don't know.
That's very unusual. Usually the women already done went through menopause and can't even get pregnant. They go through the change of life.
Yeah.
Sit down, Jack. Sit down. Sit. Ain't no need of you squalling. You ain't gonna get up here. Sit.
What do you got him chained to? Is that pole right there?
I do. But Nicholas had bought a $380,000 house in Huntsville, Alabama, not too far from Redstone Army Base.
Well,
It was more or less like a gated community with a big lake on the back of it and stuff.
what was he working?
Concrete. He'd been working concrete all his life.
Oh, he was driving a concrete truck.
He was driving a concrete truck whenever he had to wreck.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, what was it? Something been done on the highway and you run up on it? What?
What it was about a month ago, he went to a seminar, maybe probably more like 2 months ago now, went to a seminar down there in Dallas, a concrete seminar where everybody comes together and they meet and they talk about the latest this, the latest that. Kind of like what they used to do in Vegas whenever they'd have an auto body seminar. Everybody'd come together and discuss different techniques, and they'd, promote different newest, latest equipment and stuff. He went down there and 2 guys come up to him. I guess he must have known him because Nicholas had worked Memphis before in the concrete business twice. First before he went to Colorado, and then the second time after he come back in Colorado right before COVID hit. And these guys approached him and asked him if he'd be willing to go out to Phoenix to pick up a concrete truck and bring it back for $20,000. Well, $20,000
That's a lot of money to go pick up a truck.
$20,000 is a pretty big temptation, don't you think?
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, he was still working for Cagle Brothers. Cagle Brothers knew about the proposal. Cagle Brothers, which was Nicholas's bosses, actually submitted and was prepping Nicholas towards telling Nicholas, well, if you're going to go independent like that, you need to get out here and get your own little business card and get your own tax number. That way you can write off things at the end of the year. That way you can be independent. So he was in the process of doing all that. He'd done already made it some cards up and stuff. And he was supposed to, first of all, they had a week there, a dead week there that he was hesitant on the title. Something was wrong about the title. And I tend to wonder if the title would have went through whenever it should have went through, maybe that accident wouldn't have happened. But then again, if God's called you home, God's called you home. Like his bosses said, it wouldn't have mattered if he'd have been in a concrete truck or in behind a desk. Whenever the good Lord gets ready to call you home, you're going home. Anyways, they approached him Monday before he got on an airplane Tuesday and said, Nicholas, why don't you get a carrying agency to bring that thing out here? Because they got agencies out there just about do anything. They carry RVs to Florida and back to New York, and people get paid like $3-4 a mile and all this other stuff. And the cheapest thing he could find out there was about $5,500. Well, $5,500 out of $20,000, quite a bit of money. And if it was me and you, and we was young, and we just got through buying a house, and we had a little child at the age of 2 years old, we'd probably done the same thing. 2.5 years old, we'd probably done the same thing. We said, well, you know what, forget that. But what he wasn't thinking is, the concrete truck that he was driving did not have a front nose to it, like a Peterbilt. It didn't have a front nose, it was just a bob nose. Mm-hmm. And if you're ever involved in an accident, a head-on collision, you're the first one at the scene. Yeah. And basically he went over a crest. He done already made it through biggest part of Oklahoma. Now he's probably about, I don't know, give or take about 45 minutes to an hour east of Oklahoma, around Shawnee on I-40, and he went over a crest. As soon as he went over a crest, all the traffic was backed up about 3 miles, and he couldn't stop because that truck weighs 55,000 pounds. You can't stop 55,000 pounds on a dime.
Well, did anybody else get killed besides him?
Believe it or not, nobody else got killed. Nobody else got hurt, which is a miracle. Yeah. They said the first vehicle he hit was a regular truck. He said it bounced that thing off like a ball. But that second one he hit was a Walmart Freightliner filled full. He run into the back of it, and whenever he did, that was all it took.
Semi.
Yeah. You figure he probably had about 80,000 gross pounds that he was sitting on. Nicholas was sitting on about 55,000 pounds, and of course, with him being the first one at the scene of the accident, it took the front of the cab of the truck that he was in and put it all the way to the back. Put it all the way to the back. I'm pretty sure it probably crushed every organ and probably broke every bone from basically his chest, from the steering wheel down. Yeah. But believe it or not, he didn't have a scratch on his face. Not a scratch. Not one scratch. So by that, we could have an open casket. But he didn't have no insurance, supposedly, that he filled out with his company. And as soon as I told, or as soon as they found out that he didn't have no insurance, they said, well, it don't matter. We're going to pay for it anyway. We're going to pay for him to come, for his body to be brought back out of Oklahoma, and we're going to pay for the funeral. And they did. And they didn't have to do that because Nicholas was basically moonlighting. He was going out west for two other people that wasn't even associated with the people that he was working with. He was moonlighting, trying to make that 20 grand. And like I said, if we was young, trying to get started with a new family, just got through buying a big house, we'd have probably done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Thing about it is, where he wrecked, there was already 2 or 3 wrecks a day or two before he had his wreck. And then about 2 hours after they cleaned Nicholas's wreck up, there was a drunk that come up through there and killed 3 people in the exact same spot. They didn't have their roads marked right. You know, he had just got through going into a construction zone from 70 to 65, and the way they usually do that, they back it off in intervals every 5 miles. Go from 70 to 65, 65 to 60, 65, 60 to 55. They do it in intervals. Well, he had just barely got into the 65 range, going from 70 to 65 on I-40. So he probably figured he had plenty of time. I would have thought that. Now, if the signs would have been back another mile or 2 miles, and if there would have been a state trooper right there with his blue lights going, which that's usually what the construction people do. They usually get the county mountie, like that guy right there, with the blues, and sit out there to get the public's attention. That way they'll slow down. But going over that crest, it was just right to where whenever he went over that crest, that was it. He couldn't stop. After he hit the 18-wheeler in the back end, I'm pretty sure that done him in. The truck went ahead and totaled out 2 more other vehicles and almost took out 100-foot of bridge railing. To give you an idea toward what kind of momentum that had. Have you ever driven an 18-wheeler?
Very little.
I mean, it's tough to stop a load like that.
Yeah.
You gotta plan ahead of time. And it could have very well been with him pushing himself. He may have been halfway asleep at the wheel because he'd done already driven either 512 or 513 miles. Whenever he woke up in New Mexico, because he got a hotel that night. He stayed all night in a hotel. The bad thing about it is that little girl he's got at 2.5 years old, now her whole lifestyle is going to change because there's no way that his wife's going to be able to afford that house. Besides that, they didn't have no insurance, no life insurance policy. And she's either going to have to foreclose or go bankruptcy or try to sell it or something real quick. $380,000 house, I'm pretty sure the market on something like that is pretty slim. You ain't going to just find just any and everybody out there that can afford a $380,000 house. But why in the world they wouldn't have had insurance on a loan like that is beyond me, because usually don't they demand collateral? Don't the bank demand collateral?
Well, I guess.
Maybe that girl he married from Ukraine, maybe her people had some money. Maybe that's how they come up with the collateral, because usually you got to put down a certain percentage before they'll even negotiate towards selling. And usually that's like what, 15%? So if you're borrowing $100,000, that means you're gonna have to come up with $15,000 just on a $100,000 loan at 15%. Well, if you're buying almost 4 times that much, that means you're gonna have to come up with 15, 30, 30 and 30 makes 60. Somebody had to come up with about $50,000 or $60,000 ordinarily to be able to buy something like that before the bankers are going to take out a loan like that. Besides that, usually I thought they demanded for you to have life insurance.
Well, usually the banks don't finance that kind of money. It's finance companies that does it.
Yeah, it's the big guys, ain't it?
Yeah.
Basically, it's the people that's financing the banks.
Yeah.
You got to go directly to them on a big loan like that. And you know, a young couple, they'll insure, but somebody like us, they won't even, you can't even twist their arm and make them insure people like us because we're looked upon as being a high risk.
Yeah.
You know how the money man plays.
Yeah.
But with her not having no life insurance on that house, you know what the payment was running? $3,000 a month.
Hmm. Well, that's a lot of money to us, but nowadays that's not a lot of money. $100,000 is not a lot of money no more. It won't buy much. You're talking about one vehicle is about to take $100,000 now. Old dealer truck, 100,000, 96,000. Pickup, big old pickup trucks probably $70,000 and $80,000.
Everything's out of whack, out of balance whenever it comes to
Yeah, it's out of whack.
the inflation and what people can afford and what people can't afford. And eventually this is gonna work into the pocket of the rich man. And whenever it does, that's whenever they'll make changes. That's whenever they'll do something different. I don't know what they'll do, but they'll do something different whenever the rich man whenever he starts going broke. As long as it's the poorest of the poor, considering the third class and the second class citizens, well, you know, oh well, it's tough times. But you let them, you let Walmart, you let Target, you let J.C. Penney, you let some of the conglomerates start going under, and you'll see a real quick different attitude up there in the White House. And I personally think all them tariffs is hurting us more than they're helping us. Short term, they may help us long term, but short term, right now, all it's doing is just giving everybody an excuse to jab the public, to raise the prices on everything. And it doesn't matter if it's toilet paper, it don't matter if it's food, it don't matter if it's cars, it don't matter if it's building supplies or building a house with, it don't matter. Prices has went out the freaking roof. And I couldn't tell you the amount of restaurants. I think they said whenever COVID first hit, it was about 150,000 restaurants went out of business, and about 75% of them was indefinite. In other words, they didn't come back. Well, those same restaurants that was struggling then, well, now they're starting to close up now. They're starting to close up. Because everything affects everything else. You know what I'm saying? Everything affects everything. Yeah. And now it's starting to trickle up to the big man. And whenever that happens, usually you'll be looking at either depression or at least a recession. And who knows, it may actually lead into a major war. Do you see a major war brewing? Say,
huh?
You see a major war possibly brewing?
I don't know. Fallow's trying to chew up my bush.
Jack, sit down. Sit. I had to give him his tetanus shot. Ain't that what you call it? Rabies shot or tetanus shot, whatever it is.
Well, you got the stimple shot and the rabies shot and 2 or 3 other kind of shots I used to give those dogs.
Yeah.
Heartworm shots.
Think it's going to ever rain?
Well, old weather map said it's supposed to rain this afternoon, but it ain't gonna do it. It rained yesterday afternoon,
Did it?
a little bit, not much. Just enough to settle the dust for a little while.
We didn't even get that at home. We got just a couple
It's
sprinkles.
dry here, dry as it can be. The leaves are falling. Trees are getting rid of the leaves. The sap's going down.
Well, if your grass goes dormant, completely dormant this time of year, it won't come back.
Not this year, but it'll come back next summer.
It'll come back next spring.
Yeah.
But that's the reason why you need to keep watering it and try to keep it alive, because if it ever goes completely dormant, it won't come back this fall.
The growing season's over with. It's too late to grow anything.
Not if you'll water it. They got beans in the field right now where farmers are irrigating them. Long as you got water, you got green.
Beans,
The majority of them have made. The majority of
the late
the late beans are still making.
Yeah.
And a lot of them farmers out there are putting the water to it, the ones that can. Now, some of them don't have irrigation systems. That's basically going to see their consequences when they get ready to harvest. They'll probably have about half as many beans, and probably the bean itself will probably be about half the size of what it should be.
Yeah. It's dry everywhere.
Well, we went from the spring and the biggest part of the summer, and it raining almost every other day.
Yeah, it turned off dry.
I mean, it done it all of a sudden, didn't it?
Yeah.
And we've seen these extremes go from one extreme to another again and again and
It does
again.
about every year. It does this. It'll be spring. It'll be real wet, and then about September or so, it turns off dry. Usually the August is a dry month.
Well, it's showing up dry now.
Yeah.
It's dry enough that I guarantee a lot of these firemen are starting to get concerned about forest fires.
Yeah. Well, you just can't hardly burn it in this kind of weather.
I think we're under a burn ban, ain't we?
I don't know if Tennessee's under up here. I don't think we're under it up here yet.
They do it county for county. I think it's a burn ban.
Usually that weatherman gives it, but he ain't give it yet. We're in a burning zone. Now he give it from Mississippi. They can't burn.
Really?
Well, he didn't give Tennessee.
Is that all they do? Just traipse up and down the road all day long? Ain't got nothing else to do, does it?
That's all we know how to do is go up and down the road.
You know what the majority of the people today are doing in America, as far as I'm concerned? They're wasting away. They're absolutely wasting away.
Yeah.
They're sitting around. They're not being inquisitive. They're not putting forth investments. They're basically, well, first of all, 80% of them can't make investments because they're so daggone poor. They're just living off Uncle Sam from paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
But are they not wasting away? This whole country is turned into basically a wasted culture, to the point that they're just wasting away.
Yeah.
And of course, you can kind of halfway see that once you get ready to retire. I mean, once you get 60, 65, 70 years old, well, it's time for you to sit back and waste away. But I'm talking about young people.
Yeah.
Young people are no longer entrepreneurs in America.
I don't want to work. The mom and daddy never did teach them to work. It don't hurt a kid to work.
Well, back whenever we was growing up, Uncle Bill, you had to earn what you got.
Yeah.
And now, today, I guess these kids just think it's okay to steal it. Take it. If somebody ain't going to give it to them, just take it.
Yeah.
In other words, they feel like that they deserve it. They're entitled to it. They're entitled to it.
Yeah. It's just a different world. It ain't the same world he's born in.
So what's it going to be like another 10, 15, 20 years from now?
What's it going to be like next week? It's changing that fast. It's changing day by day now, the world is. This technology is running, because TV started out running the world, computers winding it up.
People living in a fantasy land.
Yeah,
You know what?
yeah.
They're not living in reality. Sitting back and Uncle Sam taking care of them, giving them all this money. They sit in their air conditioning houses in the summer, and their heated houses in the winter, and they sit and watch TV, and they play all their little game shows and all their little things. And I'm going to tell you something that I've noticed in the past 10 years, a big turnover. You don't see children out on the streets playing no more.
No.
You remember back when it would come a big snow?
They got cell phones they're working on a long time now. And the church up here, the parents give the kid the telephone, and they sit there and work on the telephone, doing some kind of work, playing games. On
Not
the
even
telephone.
paying attention to what's being said up front. Right? Not even paying attention towards what's being said up front.
Oh. That's the parents' fault. They ought to make the kids sit there and listen to what's going on. But they hand them that telephone, they don't put up with them. They can have them, but they don't want to take care of them.
Whenever the funeral director was first starting of Nicholas's funeral, where the minister gets up there and speaks for 15, 20 minutes or whatever, the I don't know, coordinator, whatever you want to call her, had to make an announcement and tell everybody, okay, everybody, y'all either turn your telephones off or put them on mute. And man, you couldn't see everybody hustling and putting them phones up and, working on their phones and turning them off. And we're talking about a funeral. At a funeral.
Yeah.
You realize how embarrassing it is, a preacher up there trying to preach somebody's funeral, and all of a sudden somebody's telephone keeps ringing?
Yeah. But that's what they do. The kids, they give them the telephone and let them play with the telephone all the time. Preaching's going on.
I think it's more of a distraction. It's a distraction. It distracts people from using their minds. Now they let Google do it for them. They let artificial intelligence do it for them. They claim that AI has already figured out how to read the Dead Sea Scrolls in the right, proper interpretation. You believe that?
Well, could be.
Well, just because somebody tells me that the sky is pink versus blue doesn't mean I got to believe that the sky is pink. Just like I really don't have to believe that the sky is actually blue.
He goes to the doctor now. He grabs up the computer, starts fumbling with the computer while he's doctor. I don't trust him no more.
No.
I don't trust doctors anymore.
No. They read something in a journal and they passed an exam just like an attorney or just like anybody else that's required to do that. And now, because they're in that position, most of them, not all of them, there are some few that does still study the bar exam and still studies the medical journals. But by and large, once they get in that position, they basically put it on. They put it on coast.
Yeah, they depend on the computer. You go in there and tell them, well, I got my legs hurting, then grab the computer and see what's good for your legs hurting. they don't use what they studied to school, what they studied for.
Same way with anything. You can have a lawnmower, tell it what kind of lawnmower it is, tell it what's going on with the lawnmower, and I guarantee you somebody's already done made a video about fixing that problem.
Yeah.
Same way with a car. I guess you could, well, I typed in one time I had a cat that got hung up in a tree. And I typed it in and said, what do I do about a cat being hung up in a tree? And it told me, get the water hose. Well, what do you do if the thing's so daggum high in the tree that the water won't reach it?
What will the water hose do?
Spray it down. Cats don't like water, and if you can get the water up there to it, that water will make them jump. Make them go back down that limb.
Yeah, okay.
Cats don't like water at all.
Well, they drank it.
They drink it, but they don't take baths in it. You don't see them out there swimming in the lake, not like a dog, or a duck, or a fish.
Well, cats is a different breed.
They sure enough are like rats, or bats. Kind of like a bat, ain't they?
I guess so, yeah. It's clouding up now, ain't it?
No, it's getting dark. 6:23.
Well, it's gonna get dark for about 7:30.
It may have a little bit of cast. It ain't a whole lot of cast. Did you tell your daughters about my son?
Yeah.
Your son died at 46. My son died at the age of 46. And Joanne, Johnny, her son died at the age of 46.
Wow.
So I don't know what it is about this era that we're living in, but today people liable to die in their teens or in a very young age, more so than getting old.
Did you ever hear from Jude?
No, none at all. Nobody does.
Where is he at?
Don't know. Don't know. Last time we heard anything, he was hooked up with some people with some money. I think it was the Wiccans or something.
Devil worshiping?
Devil worshippers.
Well, what happens to the people, the girl down here that was, where'd they go to?
What girl?
Joanne's daughter down here at Paris Landing.
Oh, they're both still down there.
Where are they?
I think they're in Phoenix. See, he does the vast majority of his work online on a computer, like being like a principal or something. He got supposedly a head full of sense. But here lately, with all these Donald Trump cuts, I think it's been affecting his income to the point that they're in trouble financially.
Oh.
They may actually let that sailboat just sit there and let the daggone marina take it over. Because if you let that boat sit there for a long enough time, I guarantee you they'll put a lien on it.
Yeah. If you don't keep it paid.
They'll file abandonment on it.
What kind of boat does it have?
It's an older type sailboat.
Is it a sailboat? It's got a motor to it, hasn't it?
It's got a motor to it.
Do they use the sails on it? Or
I don't think
it's all
so.
under
I
the
don't
motor?
think so. I think it's more or less just
It's a motorboat.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's an older model.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's got a cabin where you can sleep, probably
Is
an
it-
ice box.
Is it a big boat? Up deck boat? Or?
Not a big boat. It's medium size. I mean, it's big enough two people can go around the world in if that's what you wanted to do.
It don't have an upper deck to it. Then.
No, it's got a lower deck
Yeah.
where you go down and sleep, and ice box and bathroom and shower.
Down the hole down in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't no yacht. I've seen some of these boats, not necessarily around here, but down there in Florida. My God, them freaking boats, they're nicer than a home.
Oh yeah. There's some big old boats. When we lived up north there on Lake Michigan, there was some terrible big old boats out there on that lake.
I mean, whenever you go into the living room, it's every bit the size of your living room.
Yeah. They're big.
Long and wide. You know what I mean? Big, huge.
Yeah.
But who can afford something like that?
People got money. The people in this country, these people got lots of money in this country.
There are.
They got a lot of money.
There are. But talk them out of some of it.
And the rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer.
That's what's happening. This Social Security increase that we got last year, which was what, 1.5% or something like that?
It's 3 point something and 2 point something.
Well, that hadn't even come close of all these prices going up.
Time they got through taking out on my Social Security after that raise, it was $26 more than what it was last year. The insurance went up, everything went up on it.
Exactly.
And it was $26 more. And that $26 won't buy nothing.
No.
That's
You can barely buy a big bag of dog food for $26 now. Did you know it?
You can't buy a meal hardly for $26.
I know.
The last 2 or 3 years, Social Security been going backwards. They're giving all them dead people sending money to them.
And now they're cheating us because that percentage that they gave us this year wasn't even close to justifying all these price differences that we're going through today.
Well, my supplemental insurance went up another $70 a month. $70 for 1 month. I'm having to pay $450, $425 extra a month for them to pay 20% of my insurance.
Good grief.
Everything's all out of proportion.
It is out of portion. It's out of balance. And you can go down financially just like that.
Yeah.
Just like that. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a death in the family. I mean, you can have just a motor blow up in a car or something bad happen, and the next thing you know, you're having to foreclose on your house. You go from a regular home with a dog and a cat and 2 children to basically out here sleeping homeless.
Yeah.
Just like that. You know how many homeless people's in California? It's up in the thousands. Like 50 or 60,000.
Well, California's a disaster state. It's a Democrat state. Everything's going to pot. New York, same way. People's leaving it. They're leaving New York. They're leaving California.
They can't afford the taxes. Everything's going up. Gas goes up. Food goes up. Tires goes up. Everything goes up.
Yeah. They don't know what going down is.
But you know, last year, whenever all them fires broke out in L.A.,
Yeah.
I guarantee you probably at least 15 to 25% of them same people that had a roof over their heads before that fire happened, today ain't got a roof over their heads. Probably living out probably living on the beach like a beach bum.
A lot of them movie stars' houses burned up there too.
Well, yeah, but they're probably already done got their houses built back
Oh yeah.
because they had the money in the pool. And see how unbalanced that is?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You're going to show favoritism to somebody that's worth $600 million versus somebody that's only worth 60 million or maybe 6 million. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I thought I'd come by here and holler at you, let you know I got it all done with pertaining to Nicholas and the funeral, and got him in the ground. It was tough to buy. It was a tough thing to accept, though.
Yeah.
especially somebody in the prime of his life,
Yeah.
making over $100K a year in the business that he was in Huntsville, and just so happened somebody brought in a proposal or a temptation, and he went for it, and look what it costed him.
Yeah.
Costed him his life
Yeah.
in trying to better his family and better his life.
Money ain't no good to you if you're dead.
Nope. It ain't worth a nickel. Well, it ain't going to be long for surely the seasons are going to be changing more into a fall type setting. I thought we was going to have an early fall about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it got cold, didn't it?
Yeah, it got cold, but then all of a sudden it got freaking super hot again.
We got strange weather. Yeah, when I was a kid growing up, we went barefooted in March. Now, it's cold in March.
Yeah.
The seasons has changed.
Yeah, everything's changed. And the weather's becoming radical. It'll go from one extreme to another just almost overnight.
Yeah. Well, it's just like the Bible said, there's going to be floods and earthquakes. And that's happening. Lots of floods, bad floods.
Yeah, it is. Terrible.
People just drowning, wiping out towns.
Yep. I think it's happening more so in India and China and some of them other places than it is here. I mean, it's happening here too.
It's happening everywhere.
But we're talking displacing maybe 10 million people. You know, 10 million people being displaced.
That's like down there in Texas. Flood wiped out of town down there here a while back. Down there in Texas.
You think them people ever build back in East Tennessee and North Carolina?
Yeah.
Where all the sides of the mountains and stuff
They'll
got
build
taken
back.
out? Huh?
They'll build back.
You think so?
Yeah. They always do.
Well, it may take a generation or two for them to come back. Well, I'm going to get on out of here.
All right. Well, you be careless.
Careless?
Yeah.
Careless?
Careless. Be careless.
Okay. All right.